Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am very excited to make this video. We are currently standing in my laundry room area and it's gonna get a makeover, finally. I've gone back and forth on whether I wanted to do this or not, but it's just such an eyesore and I think it could be so pretty, and I don't think it'll be that difficult or expensive to just fix it up a little bit. So let's take a look at it and let's talk about what we're going to do. But first, if you're here and you've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, it would be totally awesome if you would. I would love to have you be in my YouTube family. It would be fantastic. But anyway, let's look at what we've got going for us. So the space is seriously so small. This is the whole thing. This is my back door. My kitchen is right there. So it's not like the best situation, you know, but it's here. So we've got the washer and dryer, obviously. And then we've just got this one dinky little shelf that has all of the stuff on it, and just, it used to have wallpaper, but I've already painted over that, so we're good there, I guess. But I want to repaint it, so maybe we're not good there. But my plan is to paint the whole thing white, including this section, because at some point the yellow kitchen will be white as well, along with this whole mess of a room. So it'll be painted completely white, and I want to do some sort of interesting background on this wall, so kind of like a feature wall, just to make it a little bit more fun. And then I want to put some shelving. That is my plan. The first thing we have to do is take all of this stuff out so we can see what we're working with back there and fill any holes that we have. Let's do it. So obviously the first thing that you have to do in a makeover is remove all of this stuff and give it a little cleaning, just to make sure you're not trapping any dirt or whatevs, you know? So I'm just getting all of this stuff out of the way, including the shelf, which I will say was rather difficult. That's cute. Super difficult, actually. I could not figure it out. It was really, really hard. I was baffled by how such a small shelf could be so strongly held into the wall, but I guess that's the point of it, so you can put stuff on it and it won't fall down. So, new plan already. I can't figure out how to get this off of the wall. If anybody knows, comment down below for next time I try and do this. But these guys are like nails or something, but it doesn't just pull out, because I've yanked on it and I've yanked on it and it won't come out. So I'm going to put this guy back up there, but I think I'm going to paint the railing things, these guys, black, and then maybe just wrap this in a wood face kind of situation, kind of like make a box for it, just so it looks woodish. And then still add another shelf down here and over there. You know what I'm saying? But for now, we're going to take a sanding block and sand all these holes down and fill them so they aren't there anymore. Okay? Okay. So I Googled it and I found a YouTube video that showed me how to get these plastic wall shelves out of the wall. And basically there's just this nail thing that goes into this other plastic thing that kind of opens up behind the wall so it's stronger. Basically a drywall screw kind of situation, just a nail. I don't really know. So the bottom two came out really easily, and then I popped the shelf out for easier access to the top ones and then removed the screw part. And when I tell you this was so difficult, it was so difficult. I could not get this little nail things out. It's like it had been there for so long that the nails were just absolutely stuck inside of the plastic thing. So I had to get something to pry out the nail a little so I could get my plier to it, so I could actually pull it out and then get the plastic part out. And it took me, no lie, probably 30 minutes to try and get all of these out. I'm not going to make you stare at me doing this the whole time. I did eventually get them all out, but it was very aggravating, to say the least, and much harder than I expected, but we did it. We made it through, and we got the shelf down, and we survived enough, at least. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever done in my entire life, but it did make me so stressed and hot to where I had to put shorts on to make me feel better because I was just getting ridiculously hot. So now I am filling the holes again that I just removed the nails from with the Drydex spackling putty. This is the stuff that's pink and turns kind of like a neutral color when you're ready to sand. So I'm just filling all the holes, plus that little crack in the wall, so it's less visible underneath the paint, which actually did work pretty well. I also took this opportunity to take some caulk to caulk any of the seams that were unpainted and broken, just to make it look a little bit cleaner, but I didn't use a caulk gun this time. It was just like a little caulk thing, which is terrible. I do not recommend doing that. Always use a caulk gun. I have prepared the area for paint. All while this was drying, I have taken it upon myself to... So, this whole thing is painted. And here, it used to be yellow. That up there, it used to be this color. Still have to paint the inside or figure out what I want to do there. All of that and all of that. It was yellow, now it is white. Now it is time to make this white. So let's do it. The next step is to do some sort of painted background on this section. I'm not sure what that will be yet, but we will figure it out momentarily. The plan is to make circles on this back wall. So I'm going to take a solo cup with this gray-blue paint. It's called Dust Blue. I just stirred it, but it doesn't look like it, does it? So we'll have to do that again. And I'm going to dip it in the paint can, and then I'm going to tap it out on the plate, and then we're going to see what that looks like. Wish me luck. I actually kind of like it. It's cute. The only thing I would change is how right here looks like a line. That part's bothersome. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. It's the next day. I just went to Home Depot with the dogs and got some wood that, thank goodness, fit in my car. They're 6-foot pieces, and with the seat folded down, they fit, which is crazy. But I've also decided that I hate what I did with the paint. So I'm gonna paint over that again with white, hopefully just once, but it might take 2 coats. Probably it will, because that's just my life, and it just probably will. And I'm going to Dollar Tree to buy different pattern supplies so I can redo the pattern, because like I said, I hate it. I just hate it. I don't like it. It's weird. The line looking thing on the circles bothers me, so I just don't want to live with it. So I won't. So I'll repaint it, and then I'll try again and see if I can make something cuter. So my idea came out to be using a sponge with the same blue paint that we painted our bathroom with, and just making a pattern freehand, no lines or anything, and making a super random, abstract-y looking wallpaper style background. And I think it turned out fantastic. My lines aren't perfect, but I can deal with that. I think it's beautimous. That was a great decision. That was a great decision. I'm so glad I painted over that and did this. I like it so much better. Let's see if I can back up a little. Oh yeah, that's way better. It looks so, like, it's still messed up like the other one, but it looks so much better because it looks like it's supposed to be random. You know what I'm saying? I think it looks great. Yay! So this is where it gets real. And by real, I mean real hard. I measured my spaces for where my shelves are going to go. My tape measure wasn't really my friend, but we got it. We figured it out. And then I took my measurements to my wood and cut them. Don't be like me. You should wear eye protection. Mom, don't be mad at me. Sorry. All I have is sunglasses. Buy me some eye goggles, please. Love you. So I'm cutting my wood in the proper dimensions that I need for my shelf. This is just common board. I got 8-inch and 10-inch 1-bys in the common board. I just really liked the color of it and I thought it was pretty. And then I took my sanding block and just sanded off any rough edges that I had and the cut edges just to make sure they weren't splintery and very soft and smooth. So the shelves were as good as they could be with what I had. And they were pretty cheap also. Each board was probably about $10 for 6 feet, so it wasn't too bad. And then I am using the Varathane Ultimate Polyurethane Water-Based Sealant for them, just since it's in the laundry room so it doesn't get all gunky with soap or gross, and they're easy to clean off if anything spills on it. Just thought this was the best idea, and I'm using a semi-gloss so they are easy to wipe, because I didn't want them to be shiny with the glossy, but I didn't want them to be matte either because I did want to be able to wipe them down. Hi again. It's 5:24 p.m. I just left Walmart. I returned the other brackets because they were too big. My dad came over to drop off some wood for a future project, framing the front door. Anyways, and he was like, these are too big. And I was like, no. So I used the smaller one on my larger shelf and he kind of showed me how the best way to put it up would be. So I appreciate that. So I have one shelf up. I didn't film it because I don't want to film him, you know, but I still have 3 more to go. So we're going to do that when I get home. Oh, it just got so dark. I got some Panda Express for dinner and I'm going to eat that. And then we are going to put up the other 3 shelves. I also bought some 5-gallon wood paint stirrers because there's like a space in the laundry room that I don't like the way it looks. So I'm gonna see if I can design something to put there. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I lied. This is actually where it gets real hard. The other part was pretty easy, if I do say so myself. But after I got the right brackets, which I got from Walmart, I can link them below if anybody is interested in them. They're just like dollar brackets. After I got the right brackets and my dad showed me how to hang up the first one, it was my turn to hang up the next 3 all by myself. So clearly that's not level, but I have my level to show me what level is. And you can see all the little holes where I tried to find the stud and failed. I did buy a stud finder, but I currently do not believe in them because they kind of lied to me. They weren't the nicest things ever. So here I am drilling in my screws, finally finding studs and realizing that the drill does not do all of the work. You must have strength to screw a screw into a stud because it is not the easiest thing. I also bought screws from Walmart, so I don't know if it was my drill bit was too big or small or whatever, or the screws just sucked, but they kept stripping. So I would get like one halfway in, I would take it out, and then I would get a new one and put the next one in. But it was so difficult. My drill was acting up. It was being annoying. And it just took a heck of a lot of strength to put those dang screws into the studs. But eventually we did get it, but not without trouble because I mean, you're watching me right now. This was probably 15 minutes on one screw trying to get them into the stud. It was ridiculous and I hated it. I mean, it was liberating to get it done by myself, but I hated it. I hated how difficult it was. It was very frustrating. See, just talking about it is frustrating. But I finally got that shelf in. I put the one above it in. I was so frustrated I didn't even film that part. But now I'm putting the brackets on the next long shelf, which proves to be a little bit more difficult since it is almost 6 foot long. And I am by myself trying to put them in. But my dad did tell me to put the brackets on the shelf first, not the bracket on the wall first, and then put the shelf on, which was a good tip. So I'm glad he stopped by and told me that, or else I would have really, really struggled in my first shelf that I put in that I took down, which is that one on the bottom above the water that you can see. Because he was like, this is
silly. You need to change the way you're doing this. So I appreciated him saying that. And I did hit the wall a few times, so there are a few little holes in there, just trying to screw that thing in. Eventually I did change also from my drill to my impact, which worked a little bit better. Don't really know the difference if you ask me, but we finally got the whole thing, and I now have 4 sturdy feeling shelves, which is really what I was going for.
We did it! Ah! This is my plan for my little fence over there. So I want it to just be like this section. So all of that's not there. We have to put sheetrock back. So I don't want it to be permanent. So I've got one of these stir sticks across, and I'm going to cut all of these to this line here. So they're just this part without the little fancy tops on it. And then I'm going to secure them to this board and then secure the board to that, so it's easy to remove from this for when we want to get back in this area, but it'll at least keep it kind of camouflaged, you know?
So I measured all of my little stick things to the size that I wanted, and when I said don't be like me earlier cutting those 1x, do not be like me this time. This time I'm serious, because these are such small pieces of wood that they kind of splintered every time I took the saw to it, so that's really not safe, and you should definitely wear eye protection. Did you see me turn my head? Yeah, it's stressing me out again just thinking about it. Anyway, then I took my sanding block again and sanded each one of my little sticks so they weren't splintery and nice and smooth and just a little prettier than when they came out of the saw, because like I said, they did splinter a little bit. So I just tried to sand that down as best as I could so they looked as good as they could, since they would be very obvious in the room, in the space that I'm putting them in. I am now using my glue gun with Gorilla Hot Glue Sticks. Drew from Lone Fox told me about these, not personally, but he said it in a video, and he's right, they do work really well. I finally got some, and I'm glad I did, because I don't think normal glue sticks would have done this job. So I'm just gluing every stick a similar width apart, to the eye at least, onto the backing of the stick, and then I am going to take some command strips, the Velcro kind things, and put it on the back, because I don't want it to be permanent. I want to be able to take it off if there's a leak or when we want to fix the drywall back there. So I just knew that if I would have like nailed them into the other board, that would have been super annoying. So that's what I chose to do, and then it just really pressed on easily. I took the paper off and pressed it on, and that was really all there was to that. It was super easy, and I think it looks really good. And now for the best part, because everything work-wise is all done, is the finishing touches. I got these clear and black containers from the Dollar Tree for $1, and I was like, heck yeah, because I thought they were so cute. So I'm putting my little smell good thingies in there, and then I got this wire basket from the Dollar Tree as well, so I am putting my dryer sheets in there just to make them look a little prettier and not in their green boxes. And a lot of people get those like cute glass little jars that they put their laundry detergent in, but that just, I don't want to do that every time I have to buy new laundry detergent, so I just left them in their natural bright yellow containers.
Okay, y'all, if you are still here, thank you so much for sticking around through all of my trials and tribulations with this makeover, but I am finally done. The only thing that's not done yet, because I don't have them, and I can't get them without a truck, is bifold doors. So this little section here will have doors, because it's technically a closet, so it should have doors. You know, that's what I think at least. Anyway, before we do the reveal, thank you again for watching and hanging out with me throughout this process. If you enjoyed the video, I would love it if you would give it a little thumbs up for me. And look at me, just talking with, ignore me. But give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to watch my train wreck makeovers unfold in the future. But they somehow turn out good. and I'm pretty happy about it. So let's see it.